Now, of course, the CBC, which is being showered with money by Mark Carney, is going to fight any kind of sanity for Canada as long as they can because they're being funded, because Mark Carney's their sugar daddy, but also because they're just ideological. They're ideologically aligned with him, and they don't think that anybody else should ever have a say. Nobody should ever dare to disagree with them. Jasmine Lane posted this clip. In 2 minutes, CBC insults Pierre Poilievre, mocks him, defends Carney's cabinet picks, and reminds us how unbiased they are. Well, that's the thing. Unbiased people, they're unbiased because they keep reminding you that they're unbiased. Let's take a look, if you can stomach it.
And talking about how he would not be opposing the government reflexively, that he would do things in the best interest of the country and support the government in those issues, and that he says he wants the country to succeed. He then spent the next 15 minutes talking about all the ministers who were there previously and the things they did to ruin the country.
What they did, though, is the thing. They did. Like, if you were like actually a journalist, the CBC was real news, right? You'd actually talk about that a little bit. You'd say, well, actually, it looks like maybe we might be heading in the same direction we were before, which was bad. But that's not going to happen. Instead, she's just going to have her sour expression on her face. And, she has to talk. Well, I guess she has to talk about Pierre Poilievre because I guess they have to be fair and balanced or something. They have to mention him, but she doesn't like it because did you know that he's mean? If you did know that he's mean, you know it because Rosemary Barton told you, I guess.
Naming particularly Sean Fraser and Stephen Guilbeault, taking some questions about how he will approach things inside the House of Commons. But overall...
is it at all interesting to Rosemary Barton that Sean Fraser was the Minister for Immigration? That hasn't gone well. Minister of Housing, that hasn't gone well. No, it's just that Pierre Poilievre is just being a jerk, talking about him and stuff, and not being super stoked for Mark Carney like we are at the CBC.
It started out in one tone and finished in another. That's all I'll say, because he leaned into attacking the people that he thinks still don't represent change, are still more of the Trudeau government, and particularly don't represent the things that he thinks Canadians want right now.
Yeah. So the leader of the opposition told the truth. I guess that's bad.
Of Canadians, he'll only be able to stand there, actually in the chamber behind him, because of the goodwill of the Prime Minister, who's going to call an early by-election for Mr. Poilievre, so
he's so kind, Mark Carney. Did you know how kind he is? His goodwill. He's so kind. Thank God the CBC is here to tell us that. Tell us that Pierre Poilievre is mean and he's bad and ungrateful to that kind, generous Mark Carney.
Going after Stephen Guilbeault, talking about the radical environmental agenda, blaming Sean Fraser for the house.
It is a radical environmental agenda. I mean, the man is literally an eco-criminal. He was arrested for his protests.
Housing crisis, which is Sean Fraser's I don't think he's 40 yet, or he's just 40. I don't think he caused the housing crisis in Canada. There's a whole.
He was the minister. He's the minister. Does that mean anything to you? Did they sit around before it? They must have, or the producers did, and just sat around and just came up with their strategy to demonize Poilievre and then, beatify Mark Carney. They must have. And, they say, he was very generous of, apparently, it's just, Carney's goodwill. Yes, he promised $150 million worth of goodwill to the CBC. Of course, they're only getting that if he won. So I'm sure that has nothing to do with anything.
Whole bunch of layers and effects of that. But, wanting to fight the same political battles we just endured during the 5 weeks of the campaign and for the 2 years leading up to that. So the pivot that people have suggested Mr. Poilievre kind of needed to make.
Do you know what? At this point, I'm just a one-issue voter, right? One-issue voter. Defund the CBC. That's all I want now. I don't care what else happens. Just defund the CBC. That's enough. Ottawa says, I don't give a crap what Rosie B has to say. No, they're just awful. I mean, we have to document it, even though I think you lose a part of your soul every time you watch these people. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.